On Monday night, Manchester United managed to beat Chelsea to eliminate them from the FA Cup, which led to further rumours about the end of Sarriball. Let's have a look at how the teams tactically lined up. Chelsea started in their usual 4-3-3 formation. Manchester United lined up in a 4-4-2 diamond with Mata as the attacking midfielder. First of all, let's look at United's defensive setup. Chelsea's central defenders would be allowed time on the ball, with United's forwards taking up positions in between the central defenders and fullbacks. United had a 4 vs 3 advantage in midfield, with Mata as Jorginho's personal marker. Here you can see United playing in their 4-4-2 diamond. Rashford and Lukaku take up positions in between the central defenders and fullbacks, while Chelsea's central defenders are allowed quite some time on the ball. Mata is now able to stay tight to Jorginho, as United have a 4 vs 3 in midfield. And here Mata is again covering Jorginho. To play out underneath this, Chelsea would have Kovacic and Conte dropped to create 2 vs 1 situations against Mata. This worked especially well when one of United's midfielders had to press Chelsea's fullback, and this is what happened quite often. Chelsea played the ball to the fullback, which required United's side midfielder to leave his man and press the fullback. Chelsea's midfielder would then drop, which required Mata to go to him and leave Jorginho free. Here, Conte drops into midfield. The ball is transferred to the fullback, which requires Pogba to press him, and Mata now has to go to Conte, which allows Jorginho again to get free. Another example, Pogba has again gone to the fullback, which allows Jorginho and Conte to create a 2 vs 1 against Mata. And this time it's Kovacic who drops back and isn't followed, which also creates a 2 vs 1 against Mata. The biggest reason for United not to follow the dropping midfielder was probably Hazard, as Hazard would often move inside. At the start of the match he would move from outside to inside and would be followed by Young. And here Hazard moves into the half space and is followed by Young. Later in the match he would take up even more central positions. By having Herrera stay in his zone instead of following Kovacic, Herrera was able to secure the space that Hazard moved into. Because of United's defensive formation, mainly Chelsea's fullbacks were able to find space. Here Alonso is free to dribble forward. However, the problem for Chelsea was that they mainly played over the sides. They had possession but no progression, apart from some crosses from Azpilicueta. Often it looked like this. Luiz or Rudiger had the ball, but they didn't have many options to pass to. Something which Chelsea might have tried to do was rotate on the right, with Conte falling back, Azpilicueta moving up and Pedro moving to the centre. This would have allowed Luiz to play the crossball to Azpilicueta, who could then receive in more advanced areas, or to play the ball behind the defence for the runs of Pedro and Higuain. Here, Chelsea could have rotated on the side to try and create more progressive options. Here again, if Chelsea would have rotated, they would have asked questions of the United defenders. And in the last example, a rotation and runs in behind might have led to more progression. Near the end of the first half, Chelsea did something like this a couple of times, but the decision making and accuracy were lacking. Let's move on to United's attacking tactics. I'm afraid I have to say that United's attacking wasn't actually that great. It was again Chelsea's pressing that was lacking. United had a natural 4 vs 3 advantage in midfield that Chelsea tried to fix by having their opposite midfielder press Matic. Here, Kovacic is pressing Matic on the other side of the pitch. The simple way for United to play out underneath this was just to have Matic move even more to the side of the ball. Matic is able to get free, and the distance is too big for Kovacic. Conte presses Matic, but the distance is too big, so he is too late to press him. In addition, when Chelsea pressed Matic but didn't get the ball, United had a free midfielder further up the pitch, and this was eventually how United scored their first goal. It starts with Conte pressing Matic. Jorginho has gone with Pogba, and Kovacic has two opponents. Kovacic has followed Mata, which leaves Herrera free. And this allows Herrera to make an unmarked run into the box, which leads to the opening goal. Just before half-time, United score their second goal, and in the second half Sarri made 3 changes that no one saw coming. First of all, he switched Pedro for Willian. Then he put in Barkley instead of Kovacic, and with just 8 minutes to go, he took off his right back for another right back. Wait, what? Yes, he actually was 2-0 down and decided to do the same substitutions he always does, and then take off his right back for another right back. Chelsea could have tried to go to a 3-5-2 to lure United's fullback into pressing their fullback, and getting Hazard into a 1 versus 1. If United then would press with their midfielder, Chelsea could go long and exploit the space behind United's midfield. Another option was going to a 3-4-3, with the same idea of getting Pedro and Hazard to make those runs in behind United's fullbacks. Just to point out, yes, I understand that this is an oversimplified and superficial way of looking at things, and there's a lot more you have to consider during a match, but I just think it's good for personal development to at least think about it. Let me know in the comments what you would have changed if you were in charge. As always, all the links to social media and Patreon are in the description, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.